How to get the front-end developer job. That's what you clicked on this video, and that's what I'll tell you about. But first, I'm going to tell a little bit about myself. I'm a front-end developer at a software company. I've been doing it for a little over a year now. Love doing it. Love the creativity it takes. I love the problem solving, quick thinking, and you can make stuff like this over here. Really cool stuff. So feel free to leave comments or questions, and I'll be happy to share any information that you would like to know. And let's jump right into it. I've got 5 steps for you to become a front-end developer. The first one is learning the fundamentals. Now, I know you've heard that a million times, but it really is the truth in that you need to know the fundamentals in order to go build enterprise applications. So what are the fundamentals? That's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Those 3 are your bread and butter and your building blocks for what you need to use in order to build websites. All right, some really good resources are FreeCodeCamp, JavaScript.info, Coding Addict on YouTube, and Code Evolution on YouTube. For each minute that I spent on those, I saved a couple hours on learning from other places. So can't recommend those enough. With that, you can also get more in-depth material from places like Udemy and Skillshare. They're also really good, but those are more on paid resources. Okay, I'll talk a little bit more about that in step 3. So step 2, that's stick to the right skill level that you should be at. Should be challenging yourself and working on things that are just outside of your current skill set. If you're very comfortable working with HTML, you can move on to something a little more challenging like CSS or JavaScript, but I wouldn't say right then to move to a framework yet. Number 3, choose a route that you want to take and keep doing things that interest and challenge you and keep building projects. The 3 routes that most people take are doing a coding boot camp, getting a college degree, or being self-taught. There's a lot of pros and cons to each of them, and there's no one size fits all solution to each of these 3 things. So just do what works for you and what your situation is, and depending on that, choose whatever you think is best for you. So for doing a coding boot camp, you're going to pay a little bit amount of money up front, and you're going to be able to get a job pretty quick. For being self-taught, it might take you a bit longer, but you don't have to pay anything most likely, and you will be able to choose exactly what you're trying to learn. And then for a college degree, I would say you also have a lot of benefits of having many mentors, but you have to pay a lot of money up front, and it takes at least 4 years in order to get your degree. I would say that I am self-taught, or I would say I chose the self-taught route, except I do have a math degree, so there was some overlap when learning some of the concepts that I've learned, like problem solving, but I didn't know a thing about computers when I started learning front-end development, except for some logic from mathematics carrying over. So I would say in this that when you're choosing a route, you need to pick something that you're really fascinated with and stick with it for a while. You can pick a photo gallery app, and if you want to make it further along, or if you're just starting out, you can just put some images in and try and style it, have it look nice. And then the more you do yourself, and the more you do yourself with this, the harder it's going to be. If you write everything by yourself without using any code bases as help, then it's going to be more challenging. And if you follow along with the tutorial doing like a cat app on FreeCodeCamp, it's going to be a lot easier. So just go with whatever your current skill set is, and challenge yourself a little bit. Maybe something a little bit harder than where you're at right now, and just by challenging yourself, it's going to be best for you in the long run. Also, a must for if you're going a self-taught route is finding a mentor. This is going to save you a lot of time, because you're not going to be able to identify all the weak spots that you have as a self-taught developer. that you would be getting if you're going with the coding boot camp or the degree. That being said, everyone at some point is learning on their own. Even if you're getting a degree, even if you're doing a code boot camp or learning completely on your own, self-taught, either way you're putting in the work and you are going to accomplish whatever you want if you have the right mindset and put in the time and keep doing the right practice every day. You get it after that many hours of doing. So step 4, once you feel pretty comfortable with JavaScript and are starting to learn React, now's a good time to start building a portfolio and a resume, and maybe even think about having a cover letter and updating your LinkedIn. For your resume, I would say my best advice I can give you is to keep it simple. You can Google Harvard resume and follow along the steps and get a pretty good resume template and get one done in a couple minutes. And then for the portfolio site, I would say don't spend too much time on all these fancy animations and just get something out that looks decent and that can display your projects that you've built, and you're good to go with that. I'd argue that some portfolio sites aren't even necessary, as you can link your project straight from your resume. Step number 5 is don't get discouraged. There's a lot of bad information out there, but if you stick with it and you keep putting in the work, you're gonna land a good paying job eventually. Don't listen to the guys saying you're gonna get a 6-figure job in 6 weeks by buying their courses. Instead, just keep practicing and improving on your skill set and you every day, and you'll reach your goals. Start applying for jobs when you start learning a framework pretty early on, and hone in on what employers are asking for by seeking specifically what they ask in interviews and improving each time you do each interview.